Today is Sunday, September the 26th, and this is the video for Friday, September the 24th, for the end of that week. And you can see, well, you know what's coming up this week, a big discussion in the government about the federal debt and shutting the government down. All of this stuff isn't going to happen. Well, it's happened before, but not raising the national debt, that's never happened before, or the debt ceiling. Nonetheless, it's going to be jitters for the market. And you can see that in the Mcclellan Oscillator. But let's look at the Mcclellan Oscillator and let's look at previous patterns. So we had the bulls in charge here, but not enough to get into the overbought area. And then we had a pretty rapid descent, churned where the bears were in charge, but again, they weren't strong enough to pull us down into the oversold, but then they finally did. And this was a higher low than this one and the one before. You could draw a trend line right across there, and you should, and keep an eye on that for the next time. So the next time it will probably be right around here where it hits the trend line. So the Mcclellan Oscillator popped briefly above into the bullish area, but didn't stay there very long, one day, and then came down to the neutral line. The Mcclellan Oscillator has been positive for the last 2 days, so the Summation Index, which is at the lowest number that we've seen in 14 months, is starting to move up again. This usually tells you that there's something coming in terms of a surprise downside. Haven't been able to prove it yet because we haven't been tracking it on these videos all that long, but we will now. We're saying that within the next month to 3 months there should be a pretty good pullback, something like we saw here and here and here, and these were all pre-staged by drops in the Mcclellan Summation Index. Before that, you've seen the other chart. I just don't have it to pull it up right now. But let's look at the key charts right now, which of course is the Dow Jones. And look at the Dow Jones. We always look at the Chiku span. You can see the Chiku span stopped at the 50 yesterday and today, meaning Friday. And price stopped at the 50. No coincidence. So you had traders double ending it here saying, well, we're going to sell at the 50, and the Chiku span just confirmed that that was going to be a point of resistance. Now the next point of resistance after breaking through the 50 is going to be right up here. We're going to move our green line to there, and that's where we're going to find resistance. Where are we going to find support? Well, we're going to find support right here at the bottom of the cloud. First support, the Chiku span could go further and get its support off of the cloud, but that'll be the first level of support. So we could pull back like that this week. The NASDAQ looks like it's pretty strong. Look at the Chiku span, popped up there, was down below this candles for just 1 day, and then popped up. That's pretty strong. We can get rid of this, we can get rid of this. So that's pretty strong performance. Resistance now is at the top of these candles, and support is down here at the 50. And look where that is. That's Tuesday, right at the top, roughly at the top of this candle. So Tuesday could see the test of this area right here. And it's going to be also at the 50. So remember, when you have coincidences like this, where the 50 and the top of the candle for the Chiku span are at roughly the same place, we could see that being as a test area. The S&P, again, it looks like it's doing pretty well. It had a little bounce off of the 50, off of the top of the cloud actually, and didn't even test the 50 on Friday. But where is the Chiku span? Look at that, right on top of that candle. So the S&P actually looks like it could go higher. Support for the S&P on Monday is going to be right down at this level here, which is where? Let's get rid of this box here, just below the 50. So somewhere on Monday, we could drop below the 50 and then get a bounce if this is where we're looking for support. We're going to look at that on Monday night. The volatility index continues to plummet, and we have this little trend line here of lows of the volatility index, and we're approaching that. That would be another test. Look where we got resistance in the volatility. Index, because it's a traded instrument just like any other stock. And it got traded and resisted right there at the bottom of the cloud. So there's really not a lot of point in going into too many stocks. They are going to follow the market. Apple apparently had a great first day of shipments, and a friend told me that he's ordered the 13 Pro Max, and delivery is now mid-November or something. So not going to go into the other stocks. Just going to say that the market right now is going to be spooked. The Mcclellan Oscillator by the debt ceiling thing. The Mcclellan Oscillator confirms the Chiku span and the moving averages and the candles on these three major indices all confirm that the area of support is just below, but it's going to be tough for the market to move forward. I think move much higher this week.